So I did my presentation on socialization, on the online versus the socializing in person aspect, and I chose to title it Socializing Improving or Declining. When I'm talking about socializing online, I'm talking about things such as text messages, emails, all your different social media accounts, LinkedIn, which is a more professional way of getting a hold of one another. And then your social media, you have Tinder and Facebook where you can connect with other people, talk about going out, anything like that. And then socializing in person is exactly what you would think it is when you're meeting up with someone face to face and you're sharing ideas, even if it's just going out to a movie or you guys meeting up and having a work meeting or a study group. Anything where you're face to face is considered socializing in person. Some of the advantages when I'm talking about the online communications are that you can quickly get a hold of somebody. Like if you had a question about an assignment, you can email your professor and they'll get back to you as quickly as they can, maybe before your next class period, which is a really good, like, a quick way for you to get a hold of them. You can also connect with people that live farther away, maybe people you've moved away and they're back home and you want to keep tabs on them, keep up with them, know what's going on. You can use your social media accounts like your Instagram and your Snapchat to keep up with what your friends are doing, and you can set up dates and you can text someone, meet up for a study group. And it's just a really good way to get your ideas out there. For example, like if you're a writer or you're a blogger and you're trying to get, your name out there, your information, you can post that online and it gives you a very wide variety of an audience that you may not be able to get in person. Some of the disadvantages of online communication are some of the big ones, such as cyberbullying. Cyberbullying is huge in this day and age with all the advances in technology. And another thing that kind of ties into that is people can create a fake identity and you have no way of knowing because you're just talking to this person online and not meeting up with them in person can't really help you out. And then another thing is arguments may not be perceived as strongly as you would like because maybe the way that you're saying things or it could be sarcastic and you may not be able to pick up on that online. That can definitely decrease your validity in your arguments. Some of the advantages of in-person communication are, again, what I was just talking about. There's kind of less room for misunderstanding. You can more clearly voice what you're talking about to one another. And then the meetings are more intimate in person. You can get to know someone a little bit better. Like if you went on a date with them in person, it's a little bit better than just talking to them on Tinder. Um, it gives people the opportunity to really open up and not be able to, kind of what I was talking about on the last side where I was talking about creating fake identities. This kind of gives them the ability to let loose and actually let people know like who they are and not be able to hide anything. Some of the disadvantages of in-person communication, I wouldn't say that there's a whole lot, but a big thing would be that it takes time away. You might have to take off work and that's going to cost you money and you're going to be losing money by taking time off and maybe just the distance. And that's kind of where a good thing about online communication comes in is that you could communicate instead of having to take the time off and spend the money just to go, have a work meeting when you could just set up a podcast and you can talk to them via online chat. And then kind of my overview of the whole thing is that you really need to find a nice balance between online communication and in-person communication. A thing that I really like that people refer to it as is complementing, where I said like things such as cell phones, emails, and other forms of online communication can make scheduling those in-person setups much easier. And people refer to that as complementing the in-person interactions. I really like that because I just feel like that's really what it is and what you need to be doing with your online communication. Instead of replacing your in-person meetings as a whole via online, just using it as kind of a base to set up those in-person interactions. You can really benefit from seeing them and being with someone in person and just having that more intimate conversation. And that is my presentation on socialization. Thank you.